Hello everyone, and welcome. I am here today to bring you guys a preview of the 2.7 Rise of Mordor update that's I say hopefully, going to be coming out within either a few days or a few weeks, or just a relatively short time period. Don't slate me too much if it doesn't. Don't get your expectations too high because, the worst thing I want is for me to say it's going to be out in a few days, then it doesn't come out, and then everyone's ranting at Blood Magpie about why the update isn't here yet. But anyways, while we're here, basically what I'm going to be doing is just running you through everything new that's going to be in the update. I've already tried doing this before, and I spent about 3 hours doing it with all the editing, blah blah blah, and then somehow managed to lose the files. So that's fun. But anyways, without further ado, because I'm doing this all in one take this time, to avoid that issue, let's actually get into the content. So basically I'm just going to be running you through, oh god, well I wasn't meant to show these guys yet, but I guess it's too late now. Might as well do it all at the same time. Here you can see the 5 new units for the Easterlings that will be coming in the update, as well as, let me just change this to a map that's actually new. As you can see, there's loads of siege maps now. So much has been added in that aspect. And then we can go to Mordor. They also have new units. Here we have Servants of the Eye and Morgul Legion. You guys are going to love these guys once you see them in game. And the other two things I want to preview are in Isengard, which is these guys, and Dununding, because they have something cool with these guys. So without further ado, we'll load into this map. Might take a minute. If it does take too long, I will just cut it out. But in the meantime, I'll sort of run through just the minor changes that are in this update, along with everything else. So in terms of balancing, it's just some small things such as artillery ammo is being increased, sappers have bigger range. What else is there? Sort of like heavy siege towers have been nerfed slightly, as well as the heavy ram. They take longer to destroy gates and are weaker to fire arrows and catapults. Gates also have a lot more HP. Cavalry has been increased in price, but has also been given a much larger charge bonus to, balance it out. Basically, cavalry's just become more effective, but also more expensive. Anyways, that's enough of me rambling for now, because we're about to get into the map. And firstly, I'll show you the map before then showing you, well, all the new units that we're going to have in this this next update. So here, if I just press start battle and pause that, we can see the city. And this is Aldburg. This is a city which I made for Rohan. It's the second largest city in Rohan's landscape. I mean, I say largest. Edoras is meant to be bigger in lore, but it's tiny in the films, so this might be bigger, but let's ignore that. It's just a nice design. It's on top of a hill. You got many layers to it, blah blah blah. Then you got this fort at the back, and it's just there's nothing much to it, but I think it's a map that I think you guys would enjoy, especially playing with some friends. But anyways, I guess that's not what you're interested in right now, because you want to see the new units, and we will start with, oh, we're on the defenders team. I did not realize that. Okay, I'll just gather my units here and then get the AI units later. Never mind, I forgot this is the start of the battle. Well, let's just go to these guys. So here we have the Bane of the Steppes, made by one of our modelers called Aldor, who's currently on a quite long holiday. So we're going to be missing him for some time, unfortunately. But as you can see, these guys just look really cool. Like, if you see their armor, the horses have a barding which was made by Saratema. They just look like they're going to do some real damage in future. By the way, Saratema, she actually has her own Lord of the Rings mod for the Second Age. It's for Shogun 2. So guys, if you enjoy Shogun 2 and you love Lord of the Rings or even the Second Age, go check her mod out. She'd really appreciate it. Secondly, we have the Variag Lancers, and these are these guys over here, also made by Aldor. And as you can see, these guys are just sick, to be honest. They really are really nice, man. Can't wait to have some battles with these guys. Can't wait to see these on people's channels. You know, these guys took a very long time to make, and finally getting them in game is just really really pleasing. But I don't want to spend too much time on them. We also have two variations of that unit, as these guys are all stuck inside of one another, which is just great. Over here, oh, these are more Bane of the Steppies, my apologies. But over here we have the axe variant, which is the foot knight variant, basically. You can see they're armed with that long axe, they have the flag on their back, they're really noticeable in the field, and they're just going to look incredible in game. If I find the arch unit, just in here, I guess we're going to preview those two at the same time. For now, I'll come back to them two at the end though, because one of those units is one of the more interesting units that I want to see. We have new wolf models, which I think is really cool. The guys really do look like, you know, well, just wolves, I guess. There isn't really much about it. But that's just one of the additions made for Dunland. Over here, we have something which is very cool. Another unit called the Morgul Legion, made by Mega Blue Iron. And once again, man, these guys just look like absolute tanks. You know, their armor is just like huge. But yeah, these guys are going to be real beasts in combat, so when you use them, it's going to be a pretty difficult wall to get past. But yeah, this is the Morgul Legion unit. It's a halberd unit for Mordor. Don't quote me on this, guys, but there might in future be a axe variant or a sword and board variant for these guys, so you can sort of have them up close and personal as well, which I think will be really cool if we do decide to add that in. Over here, we have just a minor change, but you see, we now actually have like proper equipment for the sappers. Before they just run with nothing on their backs, but now they have the torch and the bomb, you know, to actually show that they're sappers. Other than that, have I missed anything? That's the main thing. I mean, we can look at Gondor for a second. This is just a tiny change. There's other small changes as well, but there's just a new javelin model for the Pellegrin Marines. As you can see here, really cool. Not much to it though, once again made by Saratama. But anyways, thing I've been holding off till last is over here. Inside, do I get another one there? I do get another one there, that's great. And that is the Servants of the Eye, which in my opinion look incredible. Just look at them, man. Yeah, there's not really much to say, they're just the Servants of the Eye. Made by Slow Anis. The face is subject to change. We know there are some minor issues with just the way it looks, but that will probably be coming in the next update along with a bunch of other things. But yeah, this is a Servants of the Eye unit. They're going to be a really strong cav unit. Finally, Mordor have cav now, so they're actually like, you know, people can use them in land battles if you're trying to play competitively with friends or, you know, any of that sort of stuff. But anyways, apart from these guys who are just another variation, that's it for the units. So I hope you guys think those are really cool. I hope you guys are going to be looking forward to when this update eventually comes out, which should, as I've said, hopefully be soon. But without further ado, because I know this is going to take quite a while, we're going to move to the now map section of this video, as we've now covered all the units. So that was Ardberg. And while we load into the next one, which will be Baraloth? Yes, this was also made by me, just to clarify. But yeah, while we load in here, I guess I could sort of talk to you about the other changes. We have introduced two sort of sub-mods into this mod. The first one is we've made larger battlefields in land battles. The battlefields are about twice the size now, meaning that, you know, those times where you've just had battles with like 4v4s and you're just pushed to the edge of the map. There's no space to maneuver, it's just lines fighting lines. That's no longer going to be an issue because the battlefields now are huge. We might have time to show that off later, but as I'm trying to keep this relatively short, might not be possible. But anyways, this is the next map. This is Baraloth. So there's, you know, it's relatively simple, and I did take some inspiration from a map that's on the workshop called Castle Hill. It's for the Kingdom of Arnor, which is going to be coming at a very late date. It's probably going to be one of the last factions to be introduced. But yeah, there's not much to it. The AI can either spawn this side or that side, There's a fort up here with an entrance behind here. Oh god, sorry, lag because all the units are in the middle. And then you have this sort of village outpost that you have to take, and all these streets that you can see, all traversable, you can just fit through there. It's making it for like really interesting siege battles, not as choke pointy as you might find. But that's it for that map, so we're now going to move to the next one. As I was saying, the other submod is a animations thing. We now have loads more combat animations that you guys are going to be able to see in combat a lot more often. The match combat chance has also been changed to 100% in the meantime. Meaning, well, you know, you're going to see the animations more often. There's just some really brutal ones in there. It's going to make for a really cinematic piece of gameplay when you guys actually do sort of, you know, see the fighting. There's decapitations and all of that sort of stuff. So that will be really cool. This map here that we're about to load into is Fenneis Condren, once again made by myself. It's, I think, right, and I can't really remember because it's been a while. I think it's for the faction, or the sub-faction Dorwinian, which is under Dale, and it's sort of on the border of the Easterlings, constantly under conflict, which is why you're going to see that it's sort of so derelict on the outside with, you know, barricades, camps, fires, blah blah blah, like the ground's been ravaged for ages. On this side as well, just an effect that I decided to add to just make it a bit more interesting and diverse from the rest, because I felt as if the map, you know, it's not really that innovative, so I wanted to add something which would make it stand out. But yeah, this is the map. Another thing that you'll sort of notice that you won't usually have in siege battles is how close the capture point is to the walls. Basically, that means that you're going to be having most of your fight on the walls, yeah. Whereas in other maps, you'll be retreating to the probably town centre nearly immediately. Now you'll be going straight to the walls and probably defending with 90-80% of your troops while you're there. But anyways, that is it for Fenneis Condren, so we'll steadily move on to the next two maps. There's two more, and these two are probably my favourite in the entire build. One was made by Dumon, and well, I say myself, I just edited the last few touches for just about 2 or 3 hours, maybe 3, just to try and fix everything, and it's Caer Andros. While we load into this, I'll sort of just talk about the map. So I think many of you know what Caer Andros is. If you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, you've heard of this map. It's in mods like Third Age as well. It's a fort for Dol Amroth, and it always makes up for like a really interesting siege. But yeah, I mean, it's a relatively short load, so I'm not really going to speak about anything else in the meantime, just because I don't want to be cut off halfway through a conversation and then have to come back to it after. That would be kind of annoying for you guys. But yeah, some of you guys may have seen this in preview battlefields before, is the map Caer Andros, which is just, in my opinion, one of the coolest looking maps that have been made for this mod. It was obviously mostly made by Dumon. He just did a great job. Sort of the island siege. We might make some changes to the deployment zones, but I'm not sure. If we come up here to the Grand Palace, you can see over it into the fort, and you know, this would make up for some like really good small scale battles. Would make up for some good battles against AI as well, because you don't have too much ground to cover, and I think you guys will really enjoy this one. But yeah, that's Caer Andros. And now let's move on to the final map, which was made by myself and Godfather Roos, and is something that I'm very, very proud of. I cannot lie. And that is Ambar. But anyways, this might take a while to load into. The map is so big. So in the meantime, I'll sort of give you guys an update of what developments been sort of showing, I guess, if that makes sense, as of late. I think many of you have asked about the trolls. Unfortunately, no, there won't be trolls in this update. Yes, I'm sorry guys. We had to start from scratch. All those updates that you saw, I think, a few months ago, that's all gone. And we had to start all the way from the beginning due to some issues that we encountered with the rig. At the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal because hopefully I'll be able to get myself to work on them and bring them out to you by the next update, depending if I'm, pinned down by my A-level exams too much. But yeah, that's sort of the situation on trolls. But just keep an eye out for updates on them. They will be around soon. But anyways, yeah, this is Ambar. And I am so proud of this map. Props to Godfather Roost as well. He was sort of the one that made most of the base layout for it. He did a lot of the hard work before I eventually took command of the map. And it's just humongous. If we sort of go to the highest point, which was here, you can sort of get a look of it. I can sort of brief you through everything in a minute or so. You got just a port assault here where there's a deployment zone because unfortunately we can't get ships working yet. Then you have the main assault. Once you finally take the walls, you move into the streets, take the bridge, etc. And then you have the attack points coming up to the town centre, bridge over here, another attack point. You have a road round here which you can take, and a capture point which is defending this palace overlook here. So each of these capture points you take will give you obviously less morale. But yeah, this is Ambar. So I really hope you guys like the look of this map. But that's practically it for this update. There is a few issues with this map. They probably will be fixed. As you can see, the water sort of just ends halfway through that lake. But don't worry, that will probably be mended by the time we release it. But yeah, that's it for the update. I really hope you guys enjoyed the preview. I really hope you guys enjoyed, just seeing what you're going to be able to get your hands on very soon. I don't really think there is much else for me to say, to be honest. I'm trying to think of anything I might have missed. We have gained some new modelers too recently, meaning productivity might be increased. But if there's anyone watching this that does have any experience in 3D modeling, or even doesn't have experience but just wants to come and learn, I've been learning recently for the last 2 weeks, and I've already been able to make some models which are good enough for Rise of Mordor, because we really could appreciate any of the help we could get from you guys. So yeah, anyone with that sort of experience, animating, etc., just come speak to anyone in the team, me, Lolwat, or Blood Magpie, for example, in our Discord. But on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much for your time, guys. Once again, I really hope you enjoyed watching this update for Rise of Mordor, and I will see you next time. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed to keep updated with everything. Bye bye.